What's up, everybody? It's your 5-star realtor, Joshua Ingram, partnered with Page Properties Team, brokered by EXP. We're on another episode of the brand new podcast called The Dream Builders Podcast. I have a special guest, Keith Gay, with Wingman Junk Removal. How you doing today, Keith?
Doing well, thanks, Joshua. Appreciate it.
Doing good. And I can't... Oh,
good to see you.
Likewise.
Yeah, and I can't forget the man of the hour, my co-host, Bradford Page with Page Properties
Joshua,
Team.
always a pleasure.
Yeah, so Keith, tell us more about Wingman Junk Removal.
So Wingman Junk Removal is a local, veteran-owned, non-franchised junk removal service out here. We look a lot like the big guys, but we're local, so that gives us a little more leeway on what we can do.
But you are a big guy.
I am a big guy. We're not going to talk about that right now.
For sure.
But yeah, so we're all things junk removal. We specialize junk removal. We're also going to do light demolition and the occasional dump trailer rental.
Okay, so I know that homes can be really cluttered, right? Mm-hmm. Can you provide an example or instance where Wingman Junk Removal help a property, like improve a property? Because junk can actually cause the home to like depreciate because of the look of it, right? Mm-hmm. So how does Wingman Junk Removal solve that issue? So
we've been called in a number of times for things like that, even whether it be from the city saying, hey, you got to do something about this, or, maybe it's a family member that says, we're going to probably put this house on the market. We got to do something about this. The other thing to keep in mind about clutter and junk and things around the house and certainly outside, when it doesn't look and feel good, it not only affects the property value and things that you're looking at, but it also affects your mental space as well, right?
Sure.
I know when things get cluttered around my house, I get a time to clean it up. I feel a little more clear and focused, right? Mm-hmm. So, we've had a case where we had somebody call us on from Tybee where the city was coming down on them about a house that, had a bunch of stuff strewn about the yard. Yeah. And when you pull up, it looks horrible. And then so we were able to take our team in, and within a couple hours, we cleared out the yard and got all the trash out of there. And they came back around and they were like, looks like a completely different property.
For sure. And how long does that process usually take for you to remove junk?
It really depends on the amount, right?
Okay.
We send 2 guys out in a truck, and then sometimes, we've got 2 specialized junk removal trucks that are designed for junk removal, and I've got a trailer that's a dump trailer the same size that we can bring out. So we've got basically 45 yards of capacity. Okay. And then 4 guys to come out and load it. So we can usually do things pretty quick, and it usually happens a lot faster than you think it's going to happen. Yeah. When you get the bill at the end, like, you weren't here 30 minutes. They're like, that's what we do. We're dedicated. We get in and get it done, right? And that's a lot of it. Like you can say, we're going to do this. I'm going to do this on the weekend at home and it'll be fine, right? Please, do what you got to do.
Well, I'll give you an example. So we had a listing not that long ago. I had a couple that, and they weren't spring chickens. They weren't real old, but they wanted to get their own dumpster and rent that if they could find one that was available.
You bet.
Put it in their driveway that wasn't a real big driveway. And they didn't even park their cars in there anyway. And, have it there for a week or whatever, and then at their leisure, they'd pull stuff out. And, they weren't super physically fit to be carrying all this stuff. It was going to happen more slowly, which means there was longer to get the house on the market.
Yeah, you bet.
Yada, yada. And I said, well, wait a minute, let's try something else. Gave him Keith's number, called him up. I want to say within 2 days. He was out there, and that was only for their convenience. In 2 days, he was out there, carried all this stuff, saved them from going to see a chiropractor. Saved them money because those renting a dumpster is not cheap.
Yeah, it's not.
If you can even get it. And so, I testify, and obviously that house with the junk out of there, not to get new age or anything, but it changes the energy.
It does.
When you got stuff out there, people come in and see it, and they want it nice, clean, everything ready to go. So.
Well, there's a reason, when realtors stage homes for sale, there's a reason. It has a specific flow, right? It has a feel to it, right? As opposed to just a blank house. If you have a cluttered house and everything's kind of on top of each other and you got piles here and piles there, nobody can see past your piles. Yeah. And that's part of our deal. And the other side of that is that, rent a dumpster, that's fine, and do it. I'm happy to give you recommendations. What I'll tell you is that save your back. Yeah. And it'll happen faster, like I said, it'll happen faster than you think. Yeah. Like we can get in, the team get in, get it done, and they're dedicated about making sure that this happens. It happens in an appropriate amount of time. And we got, more jobs to get to behind that one typically. So, they get in there with a purpose, With a purpose is the key. I've been trying to declutter my garage for years.
Yeah, for sure. So beyond real estate, junk removal also has an impact in the community. How does Wingman Junk Removal contribute to creating cleaner, more livable spaces for its residents in Georgia?
Understood. So we work with a few of the nonprofits around the area. Blessings in a Book Bag is one of them. Junior League, Savannah Junior League is one. We did a touch a truck event with them. We brought the truck out and let the kids kind of get in and play around, kind of to bring awareness of junk removal of the business, what we do, kind of make people aware that there are options out there other than just, throw it in the trash.
Yeah.
We can recycle, repurpose, reuse, resell, that kind of deal. We work with our donations. We try to work with a lot of local donation centers. One of them is Friendly Marketplace down on the south side. Friendly Marketplace is kind of veteran centric, which I take pride in, trying to make sure that gets covered on that.
That place is a great business.
It's an amazing place.
Yeah.
I was tempted to start my own, and I was like, we're not there yet.
Yeah.
We're close. We're not there yet. But yeah, so we try to donate to places where we know it's going to make a difference in the community. Salvation Army, Friendly Marketplace, City Mission. So those are kind of our guides and our goals to make sure that we're at least trying to give back to the community that we work in.
Okay, awesome. So to go back to the real estate transaction, because it can be so stressful, how does your company collaborate with realtors and homeowners to make the aspect of property preparation smoother?
So anybody who's been to the closing table or about to go to the closing table and does a walkthrough on a property and finds stuff in it knows the panic that ensues. And if there's any realtor out there that hasn't experienced that yet, they're either new or they're new. So it's not if, it's when. And so we like to say that we're here for that purpose as well. We try to keep our schedule set up where we can at least fit one or two in the same day, and certainly by the next day. So I've had some realtors call me that, we're in a panic, like, holy crap, we just found this big pile of stuff that the new owner says, we're not buying if it's not gone, and we're going to the closing table in 3 hours. I'm like, we'll make it happen.
Oh, wow.
And we go out and we send the team out, we get it done, send them pictures back and forth. We have the ability to invoice online and all that, and take payment online, on spot. I mean, we try to make it as easy and effortless for our customer as we can, because junk is hard.
Yeah.
And stuff in the space is hard. And so if we can make that easy on you, easy on a realtor, easy on the homeowner that's trying to sell and make space, that's what we're here to do.
Okay, so you help agents, sellers. What about investors? Because properties have potential, but when there are things clogging up their potential, how do Wingman Junk Removal help investors achieve their goals?
So we work with a handful of investors, folks that go out and they find these distressed properties, and they try to take care of, cleaning up the blight on the property and making that home a home again, as opposed to just an eyesore on the street.
Yeah.
And so they have us do that in various efforts, right? In various degrees of effort. So we'll either go in and just take all the junk out, or we can do as far as go in, take all the junk out, clean up the yard, take the shed down in the backyard. As far as demo, we can go in and pull carpets, cabinets, toilets, all this stuff. I've got one that has me pull ceiling fixtures down and just replace it with a bulb so they can hang.
Yeah.
We can take it that far and take it down to bare walls and bare floor, bare ceiling, and now it's ready to go in and have major demo done and major renovations done, or we can just go in and clean out the unit. Now we've got a handful of investors that we work with in the area that are taking some of these distressed proproperties, and we go in and do that.
So you all can create the junk and then take the junk away.
Listen, security.
I like it.
Job security.
That's awesome.
It was always junk. It was just
Listen, sometimes you just got to admit it.
Yeah. So back to about the removal. We discussed previously about hazardous waste. What are the requirements for that? Do y'all deal with that?
So we have to be very careful about how we manage hazardous waste, right?
Yes.
So we can take things like paint, because I can either donate to places for that, or I can go through a process of making it basically trash, right?
Yeah.
Once it's solid, it's trash. Propane tanks and TVs and mattresses and that kind of stuff, we can take that kind of stuff. Sometimes it invokes a little extra fee to get it done, just because we get hit with an extra fee to get rid of it, right?
Yeah.
So we have to go through that process to make sure it's done correctly. Hazardous waste, things like oils, gasolines, pesticides, fertilizers, things that you're not going to probably eat or drink.
Okay.
We have to be careful about taking that stuff, because there are some licensure issues, some other insurance issues, and we're not really set up to take that stuff. So we don't take those things ordinarily. unless I know there's a place that I can maybe take the fertilizer, the pesticide, and donate it to some process that that might be able to use it. But typically, we don't take that. And what I would recommend homeowners to do when they get down to that point and they're trying to clean out the house, or even realtors when they run into it, is that usually there's a community resource. And we're trying to put together a list of community resources now that we can refer people to take those items to, where they will at least be disposed of properly.
Yeah.
Right. And that's the goal. We're just trying to make sure that we're not hindering the environment any more than we as a human population already are.
Wow, that's awesome. So my last question for you is, how can the people get in touch with you, Keith?
Super easy. We are at wingmanjunkremoval.com or wingmanjunk.com. We can book online. The phone number's online there. It's 912-456-1010. Again, 912-456-1010. You'll either talk to me or Candy. We don't have a overseas offshore answering system. You're talking to me or my assistant Candy, and
For sure.
and all our guys are local guys to come out and help out. So
Y'all help the local areas.
Yeah, we're here
area.
for the community. That's
sure.
the goal. So we're looking to try to make our impact, and that's how we're doing it. We're staying local.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Keith, for coming on the Dream Builders podcast.
It is my pleasure to come out, and at the end of this, I got to tell you, it's an honor to be out here.
Yeah.
A pleasure to have had this experience and come out and talk about the business and talk about how we can help you guys out.
For sure.
So I need to make you guys part of the team now.
Oh,
I need to make you part of the team.
Oh, we
got you some hats.
Gotta go ahead and commit.
Yeah. Now I bring you shirts, but then I got to put you on the truck and put you to work.
Yeah, I can't.
Hang on. They're nice shirts, though.
They're nice shirts.
How long I got to be on the truck?
Well, at least yeah.
Can I be the driver? That's the only job I'm taking.
I wish I could tell you that they don't do anything, but I got the two guys that are on the truck all work.
Oh, well.
The driver drives, he still lifts and loads. He still has to drive
That's
the
called
truck.
efficiency. It's also called non-union.
So remember that the Dream Builders podcast is here to help buyers, sellers, and agents and small businesses reach their real estate goals. This podcast is sponsored by Page Properties Team, TheDream E.N.T, Real Estate for a Reason, and Make Real Estate Fun Again. Y'all be blessed, and I catch you on the next episode. Peace.
Cheers.